Our world has changed dramatically after September 11th. For those who had nice decades to live in the last century, we all should be grateful. We're not in that world anymore. So this world we're in now is one with, I would say, in addition to all the problems with the security state and wars that are justified or drone killings and that are no longer questioned. We have a world, post 9/11 world, where people are scapegoated. And by scapegoated, I mean there's a problem in the system. If you don't believe the official story, if the official story is false, then you have a huge problem in the system. So one way to avoid dealing with that is to scapegoat individuals, whether it's even the family members who are bringing these things up. And their pain is not something that's going to be welcome because that points out a problem in the system. It seems gradually, we deteriorated our sense of values, of respect for human life. If we don't get some truth on this, I'm not sure that we can function well as a country. It's not the past, it's the present and it's the future. And that is not a system that's functional enough and it can be trusted. The concept of the dark night of the soul is that we rely on things almost as a higher power. And when those things and our beliefs are questioned or we're let down, we're heartbroken. When we are hurt, when those institutions or people let us down, then we have a darkness. But ultimately that darkness leads to a better spiritual connection, not mediated through the organizations or people. So I believe we're still in like a very much a dark night for all of us that know the truth or don't know it. As we look at a post-truth world, I think 9/11 was a big jump forward into the post-truth world where it's not about what's true, it's about emotions driving politics. The post-truth is that it doesn't matter what's true as long as it helps my side or my agenda. And unfortunately, we're post 9/11 and I think we're post-truth. And so as time goes on, we see investigations and tribunals, or this Rwanda, the Armenian genocide back in around World War I believe, and Bosnia. But some people feel we can't handle the truth, right? And there's no evidence for that, right? That if we look around the world, history, recent or otherwise, the people of Rwanda had a genocide where 1 million people were killed. Well, they seem to have handled it. People in Bosnia had what is called a genocide, and they've handled it, right? The Germans and the Japanese were militarily occupied. They seem to have handled it. They seem to be pretty strong countries. Russia lost 30 million people in World War II. So this idea that we're so fragile that we would fall apart, there's no evidence for it, except that we might be so narcissistically involved in thinking about ourselves and our country that would sting. But maybe that's an important piece of humility that goes into functioning well. That we want systems, family, individual, or government, to be able to see their shortcomings and to be flexible, adapt, and address the problems. Otherwise, we become increasingly dysfunctional.